I was talking to a guy at work, right? And he's a pretty cool dude. We got to talking and everything. And he was talking about how, he's an avid hunter and says how he was I think it was in Canada, and there was like a hunting trip, and he paid like, I think he said it was $1,700, and he had a trip and everything. And it was a pretty nice deal. It seemed like it was well worth the trip for what you get and everything because it was for $1,700. It included quite a bit. Hey, welcome to the Narrative Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Gerald Tabb. You can call me G or GT, whichever you prefer. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a comment, share, let me know what you think, or if there's another subject that you would like me to discuss. So, this guy told me, a coworker, he told me that he was over in Canada and he had went bear hunting because this guy's an avid hunter. And for me, I'm not really a hunter. And my uncle, he was a hunter, and he's paralyzed from the waist down. He got in an accident on a hunting trip one day. He was an avid, he was an avid hunter, but at the point where he got hurt, he was going deer hunting, and that was years ago. And I'm not. I mean, this might be kind of a stupid statement. I don't really know if I would assume that handicap doesn't it doesn't bar you from hunting because anything's possible. But this guy at work, he was telling me how he was a hunter and he had went over to Canada, and he was telling me how he was out in the woods and he was up in a tree, or, the deer blind or whatever you want to call them. And he said that his friend had laid some bait, but he left the plastic bag right by the bait. So he said the bear had passed by with two cubs he saw first. Then he stopped for a minute and smelled the food and smelled, I guess, I'm assuming him. So the bear leaves. And then he said the bear came back later on that night because he was trying to figure out where was this other smell coming from. He said, I can see the food, but there's something else out here that I can smell. He said the bear was kind of nosing around or whatever. And he said he was at a point where he was up in the blind, and if the bear had climbed the ladder, he didn't have time to load an arrow and draw back to get enough to, I guess, to shoot the arrow. So he said he was sitting there and he was real quiet, and the bear never came up the ladder or whatever, but he was right there, and he said that's where he made the hunt. So we got into if you can eat bear meat, 'cause like I said, I'm not a hunter, so I don't really know about certain aspects of hunting, what you can eat, what you can't eat, things of that nature. So it was funny because he said bear meat, his friend cooked some bear meat and he tried it and it was like leather. And he said he kind of, when his friend wasn't looking, he kind of threw it over his shoulder. So we kind of laughed about that. I almost told him you might as well just go get a leather belt and put some A1 sauce on it and call it a day and just save yourself the trouble. But I also said if bear meat is that tough, depending on how you cook it, if bear meat is that tough, then that would be a great food for dogs, because dogs they love to gnaw on stuff, and I would assume the tougher the better. I'm not sure if meat being that tough would be good for a dog or not. When I got off work, I did Google it a little bit. You have to cook it at a certain temperature. You can't do it like beef. You can't just medium well or undercooked and things of that nature. I'm assuming it has to be cooked all the way through. But it was pretty interesting. He showed me a few pictures. I would like to go hunting at least once, maybe. I mean, I'm 53, so I'm on the down end of it. But I would like to go hunting at least once, just to experience it. If I could, if I had the money, if I had the money and I won the lottery, I would definitely go get my uncle and maybe my cousins, the ones who would want to go. We would probably go camping, and while we were out there, we'd do a little bit of hunting because I'm pretty sure that my uncle, he's older. Like I said, he's in a wheelchair, but I'm pretty sure the things that you love, they never go away. There's always that want to do it, and I'm pretty sure that he wants to go hunting. So that would be something that I would offer him as well as the family, as a family outing, because you know we're black, and it's this is a broad statement that I really don't know. There's a small percentage that are city folks, and that's any race, that are city folks that don't really aren't woodsy, everything buy from the store, no hunting experience, yada yada yada, and that type of thing. But it was definitely it definitely sounded really interesting. But that's it. Thanks for tuning in to the Narrative Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Gerald Tabb. You can call me GT. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a comment and let me know what you think or something that you would like me to discuss. Have a good one.